I'm not sure if this relates to contrast, but you say that the audience loves contrast. I think you talked about in one of your videos, if a character comes in angry, then they need to leave with some resolve or happy something, but if they come in happy, then they need to leave the scene angry. There needs to be some kind of a contrast.
Yeah, that's a principle I learned from just reading Robert McKee. Basically, the idea is that a scene turns on the emotional state of the character or characters, and basically the idea is that by contrast, the whole point of a story is to get us to engage emotionally. So when we're tracking something, the logic should be as logical as it needs to be so that we can emotionally invest in something. So something needs to be logical if it within the confines of the world, just enough so that we can care about what the character, because what we really are interested in is what is the emotional state of these characters. So, and the best way to know if a scene is turned is if the character comes in with this, positive emotion, they experience some conflict, and the result causes a shift. If they come in happy and they leave happy, generally speaking, nothing significant has happened. And so what we're looking for when we're structuring our scenes, or what I'm looking for when I'm structuring my scenes, is some sort of emotionally significant experience that changes the way they're seeing their situation. And then from there, using their strategy, they adapt to new conflict.
Is that the one where you used Glengarry Glen Ross? I think you used some of that. Maybe it wasn't that one.
Mamet's creed is what does the character want, why now, and what happens if they don't get it. So it's asking those three questions, which form a kind of litmus test to whether the scene is worth it. And then from there, you take McKee's principle of turning the scene from a positive to a negative or negative to a positive. And the idea of contrast is basically what I was trying to say is that we want to pace out a film, and it shouldn't be just ridiculous jumps in contrast. If she comes in, like if a main character comes in and she's just exploding with joy, and then hits the depths of sorrow, that's melodrama, and we begin to disengage. Or just, there's plenty of exceptions to this, but ultimately what we're looking for is a kind of journey, which means we're following the emotional journey that they're going through with ups and downs and usually some shifts, and then sometimes it drops out from under you. So a lot of that is about understanding the way you can pace out and establish a rhythm of different scenes, and you start to develop certain stakes, and then you drop it and raise the stakes and things like that. So it's all about playing with the expectations and getting the audience to guess what's going to happen next.
So are those the three questions sometimes you'll ask with your character, even supporting characters, not just the protagonist or the antagonist, but just some of the supporting ones?
Yeah. So a lot of thing about structure, especially, is largely to do with rewriting, although that does inform outlining as well. That's all the principles inform each other. A lot of the story structure theory, like for example, especially like scene dynamics, that video was largely due to kind of like almost like checklists of once you've already written a scene, these are some ways to know if it's working or not. So I took Mamet's creed, and I took Robert McKee's principle of like turning from the emotions up to positive and negative and vice versa. And then I came up with a list of like essential scene dynamics. And a lot of that it's kind of like a checklist of something that I'll be reading something, I'll make sure that each scene that I write has these elements. And if they don't have the elements, then usually I can diagnose exactly what's wrong with it, what's not working with it.